Hello, my name is Lean Kline, and this is a short little video about Bhujapidasana. Bhujapidasana is coming from mostly the Ashtanga series. It is a hand balance with the legs wrapped around your arms, and it also leads to another one of my favorite poses where we stretch the legs out. Bhujapidasana requires some flexibility in the wrists. It also requires some hamstring stretch and some hip openers, as well as being able to round the back and work the pelvis. So I hope that with this series you can start to work towards that. And please feel free to join me. So let's start by laying on the ground. We're going to move rather quickly, so feel free to pause the video at any time. We're going to start with a scooping energy in the becken muscles. If you want to touch your lower belly. With the knees bent, scoop the pubic bone towards the navel. And then arch the pubic bone towards the sit bones. As we scoop, we want to cultivate this energy from inside. So we're not gripping the buttocks, we're rocking the pelvis up and back. This kind of helps some of us to allow ourselves to feel the beginnings of Mula Bandha. Now we're going to add to this. Next time you scoop, you're just going to lift the hips off the ground, rolling up, and then rolling back down, bone for bone. Just opening from inside up through the shoulders, and exhaling back down through the arch. And now bring the knees into your chest. Testing this. Legs go up to the sky. 45 degrees, lower the legs, keep the lower back on the ground. Knees to the chest, legs back up. Lower the legs 45 degrees, knees to the chest and up, and from 45 degrees come up to sitting, roll over your ankles and step into downward dog, and then come onto your knees. Same thing, cat-cow pose, scooping the belly and arching. Let's try to exhale, scoop from that same place. Moving around, it's the first opening, so allow yourself a little bit of movement freedom. Scooping. And then moving into downward dog, walk your hands a little bit more forward, a little bit wider distance. Spread your fingers and toes, let your head be between your arms. And roll your tricep muscles towards your toes. Lift the upper arms. And then just walk gently towards the front of the mat, little baby steps. Continuing this scooping idea, we're going to come with bending knees, round the body and bring the forehead towards the knees. Coming to half Uttanasana, stretch the body from pubic bone to forehead. Repeating. Bend and scoop the knees to the forehead. Inhale, lengthen. Bend, scoop. And just roll up gently into Tadasana. Feel the lift from inside. And lift the arms up to the sky. And fold over into straight-legged Uttanasana. Step your feet back, taking a vinyasa. You may also choose to just stay in downward dog, right? If you take vinyasa, exhale the chest to the floor. Just easy cobra first. Lengthening and stretching the belly. Let's come into child's pose. And then we're going to rock up into cat, scooping. Tuck the toes under and move them from the sit bones up into downward dog. Again, maybe walking the feet back or the hands forward. Lift the upper arms towards the back of the head and then align the upper body from shoulders to sit bones and breathe. Bend the knees and jump to the front of the mat. And forward fold again. Same scooping exercise, right? Lengthen out into half Uttanasana. Bend the knees and round forehead to knees as best you can. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, scoop and round. One more time. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, scoop and round, and coming all the way up with the arms over the head, reaching from the middle out through the fingers, Samastiti. Drop the arms And circle the arms up to the sky, forward fold, exhale. From here, place the hands strongly into the mat, jump the hips high, up, up, until maybe you jump into downward dog. Take a vinyasa. See if you'd like to come a little bit higher with the knees off the ground for upward dog. And again, child's pose, rocking up onto the knees, and moving yourself back into downward dog. Lengthening the torso from shoulders up into the sit bones. Move your upper thighs up and away. Just breathing. Ready? Coming forward to jump. Hips up. Walk or jump to the front of the mat and forward fold. Lengthening out, bend the knees, scoop, and one motion, come all the way up to vertical, reaching up, hands in prayer position. Release the arms down by your sides, and again, inhale, reach up, exhale, forward fold. Jumping back or stepping back, you're going to try to practice jumping up from the hips, up, up, up. And take your vinyasa with the blocks or without the blocks. Upward dog, downward dog. Take the right leg up and twist open. Getting a little bit deeper into the legs now. Scoop the knee to the chest, step forward for warrior one pose. Back foot is 45 degrees. Make sure there's a space between your legs. Inhale and roll up through the body. Hands come exhaling behind the back. Humble warrior. Inhale. From the belly, lift up towards the ceiling and bow down. As you look down, swing your hips to the left. Lock your hips against your straight leg. Ground your feet. And breathe. Twist now open to the side with your right fingers on a block or on the outside. And bring your arm up to the sky and maybe over your head. Coming into a warrior two pose, readjust your feet. Heel comes in line with the front heel comes in line with the back arch of the foot. And bringing that front arm up, twist the arm open. Bend that front knee. And coming into Parsvakonasana, elbow on the knee, stretching from that left hip out through the shoulder. If you want to go deeper, bring the right hand down on the ground. Circle the arm, reach into Trikonasana, bring the right fingers to the ground. Scoop the sit bones back, lengthening the arms up, and breathe. Now come down to the ground into a lunge pose. Bring the back knee to the floor and 90 degrees in the front leg. Now you're going to press your hand and shoulder to the inside of the leg, feeling the power of that. Heel toe your foot across and really keep the shoulder back. With your left hand, grab the right flexed foot and lift the foot up, but keep the hips locking against the back leg. Release the leg back around, lift it up to the sky, and knees down. Take downward facing dog. Stay here and breathe. Those of you who need to take a vinyasa, please feel free to do that. Left leg up to the sky. Twist the hips open. And bring the knees stepping forward. Space between the legs. Warrior one, 45 degrees with the back leg. Foot lifting up. Inhale. Hands behind the back. Exhale, interlace the fingers. Lift open with the chest, inhaling and exhaling, forward bend. Again here, common thing is to loose the hips. So lock your hips, swinging them to the right against your leg. And then twist the chest open, left fingers to the floor, using a block if you need to, and pull straight up. You can just leave the arm straight up, or like we did on the other side, stretch that arm out over the ear. Pulling up, into warrior two pose, readjusting the feet. Nice 90-degree angle in the front foot, reverse warrior. Left arm lifts up, right arm goes down. Vipariti Virabhadrasana. Coming back to Parsvakonasana. Either elbow over the knee or fingers to the ground. Stretching, moving into Trikonasana, just circle that right arm up to the sky, twist the chest open, and really lift out of the fingers. So from the hips, we press down into the heels and we rise up. Bring the hands to the ground, take a lunge, and drop the back knee. Same thing as we did other side. Hands on the inside. Widen your shoulder into the knee and feel that spunning, that tension there. And walk the foot heel toe across, keeping the shoulder nice and wide. With your right hand, grab the left heel and pull up. Breathing deeply. Circle that leg back around. Reach and come down. Hands and knees. Maybe a little cat-cow. Maybe a downward facing dog. Feel what you need to. When you're ready, jump to the front of the mat. And we're going to do this elbow chair pose. From the elbows on the outsides of the knees, feet are as wide as the sit bones. Scoop the sit bones back. Lengthen the arms, and with width in the sit bones, come all the way up to standing. And once again, elbows are squeezing the knees. Knees are pressing out into the elbows, and with that, we move the sit bones back and wide. Lift the belly, reach the arms out over the head, and with that energy, come all the way from chair pose up to vertical. Again, that same scooping action of Mula Bandha. Lengthen forward and bring your two fingers into the big toes. Padangusthasana, right? Again, scoop the belly and pull your body down from your core. Elbows bend out to the sides. You're grabbing your big toe and breathe. One more breath. Taking Padangusthasana. Lift your toes, step on your hands, reach the chest looking forward, and pull from your core the body down. Lift the sit bones up to the sky and breathe. As the elbows bend, we try to point those bended elbows to the front of the mat. Bring your hands to the ground, to your hips. Round the body and come all the way up to vertical. Inhale. Samastihiti. Exhale. Quickly stepping that left foot nice and wide, or step facing me. Prasarita Padottanasana. Turn the toes in, lift up from the belly, hands and the hips, and arching up and back. From your hips, from the groin, bending forward. Same thing as we did, grabbing the big toes, and we're pulling up on the toes are pulling down, and we're flexing the shoulders wide. From your core, you're pushing the sit bones up and pulling the body down. And breathe. Lengthening, lengthening, lengthening. If you're very flexible here, pull the sit bones together. Lift up, stretch the body. Hands come into the hips. Shoulders back. Ears back. And rising up. And exhale. Yeah. And coming back into downward dog. Finding your placement again. Taking a vinyasa if you'd like to. Otherwise, just working your downward dog. Warming up the body. And then let's come onto our knees and take child's pose. And just shake it all out. Could be that we need a little bit of rest. Let's do a little wrist stretch. Come up onto your knees and rotate your thumbs open. Rotate your tricep muscle towards your ribs and stretch the wrists and the underarms. Turn the hands back out. And we're going to bounce up and down. Hips, bang your hips onto your heels, and you'll feel this natural lift in Mula Bandha, right? Banging. And we're going to jump towards our hands. Press down. Woohoo. right? We're going to take a little squat, turn your heels in, toes out, and really burst your chest open. Elbows are pressing into the knees. Now, it may be that you have short Achilles tendons. You can do two things. You can widen the feet and take a sumo wrestler pose, or bring your heels on a block. Regardless, we're widening the shoulders, lifting the collarbone, elbows into the knees, and breathe. Feel a gentle scooping up inside Mula Bandha as you drop the hips down. Coming out, lifting the hips up, rolling back to parallel. And now let's see if we can bring the shoulders on the inside. That little kniping action, thumb and forefinger, squeeze the Achilles and the heel. And just see if you can widen. Now it's going to be tight there, so you want to widen the shoulder blades and lift the sit bones up to the sky. Feel that tension and breathe deeply. Don't let the knees collapse the shoulders. Again, lifting up and widening the chest against the inner knees. Come out, and we're going to bounce and jump up with the hips, up into downward dog. More advanced, you can try plank pose. Take a little vinyasa. Come back up. Bouncing one more time. 1, against the heels. 2, and 3. Jump. Same thing. With your thumb and finger, squeezing the heels and trying to get the shoulders between the legs and work the sit bones up. So we're using those hamstrings to lift up. Again, really check to widen the shoulders. Breathing deeply. While you're there, take 2 blocks, one each, or 2 books, and keeping the fingers pointing towards you like you were pinching your heels. And as we bend the knees, we want to keep the hips as high as the knees. And we're going to try to sit down on our 90-degree elbows. Walk heel toe, and see if you can cross your ankles and really lifting the hips up. Sit bones are up. If you can't cross your ankles, you still can do this lift up in the hips. If this is already very easy for you, you could take this lovely challenge to lift the hips and stretch the legs out. But don't worry, keep breathing. Stay where you are. And gently come out. And stretch back. Maybe child's pose. Now, some of you may have a little tension in your wrists. You might want to roll the wrists, bring the backs of the hands together at the chest. Unfold the arms. Make a fist with your hands. Pull the elbows wide. Stretch the arms. And release. One more time, right? Backs of the hands come together at the chest. Unfold the arms. Fists come together. Widen the elbows. And stretch the arms. Same thing. With or without the blocks, right? Banging the hips on the heels, feeling that natural lift. 2, and jumping. 3. Jump towards the hands. Or jump around the hands. Right? Again, getting the shoulders as best you can inside, squeezing with the hands, and getting those shoulders nice and wide. Yeah. Again, using the blocks if you need to or without. Roll the hands directly behind you. And as you bend the elbows, you must bend the elbows. Keep the hips lifted. Here again, trying to cross the ankles. Doing your best. And again, if that's easy for you, you could stretch the legs out. Woohoo! Yes! See what's possible. As you walk back, stretch back into downward dog. Take a little vinyasa or just child's pose. Feel what feels good for you. You can also come to sitting. Let's all come to sitting. Whew. And lay down on your back, right? Just take the right knee into your chest. A little pulse here. And a little twist. You take the knee across the body. And we do a lot of forward bends or a lot of action. Twists are good for extreme forward bends or back bends. Let's do the other leg. Left knee to the chest, pulsing. Relax the back and take the knee across the body. Just feeling that stretch. Option here, if you're feeling good, to cross the legs. Hop the hips to the right and then bring the legs towards the ground. Keep those ribs down and breathe. Deep breathing here will open up any tension you've created. And coming back, unfolding the legs and going to the other side. Across the left leg, over the right. Move your hips to the left, knees at the chest. Make sure the knees are in line with the navel. Take a deep breath in, and on the exhale, twist the belly to the side. Deep breathing. Now, some of you may have tight shoulders, and the arm is very far from the ground, so you can place a block under the elbow or the hand and try to allow the elbow to release to the ground. Breathe deeply here. And coming back. Unfolding. From all those forward bends and the roundings, we're going to just lift the hips up. Scoop the belly like we worked on earlier into a Setu Bandha Sarvangasana. Now the lift is coming from the becken, not from the buttocks. Heel strong in the ground. Big toe comes into the ground. Bring your hands behind your back. You stay here. If you have a back bend practice and you'd like to take that, feel free to do that. Otherwise, it's really good to just stay down, simple. Lifting the chest as high up towards the chin. Pressing the head into the ground. Neck is off of the ground. Shoulders are in the ground. And coming down. Take a little windshield wiper pose. Right knee rolls in. You might want to stay here for a while. Just move from side to side. The further the feet are, the more twists. Resist letting the hip come off, but feel a stretch from the thigh down to the knee and across that lower back. And one more deep breath. Rolling to whatever side feels good for you. And we're going to come up to sitting. Last breath. Take a deep breath in. And a deep exhale. Lay down on the back. And just relax. And lengthen the legs first parallel and then let them shake open. As you lay down, allow yourself to relax the neck and the head. Lengthen from the hips all the way up to the shoulders. Release the energy of your face. Relax your tongue. Let this be your last controlled exhale. And just feel the breath come in. Let all the work you've done just be present in your body. Turn your focus to your heart and notice your heart beating. Nice, easy meditation. Count out your heartbeats as you feel them happening. Let a wave of relaxation travel from your heart down the arms into the palms of your hands, where you can maybe feel a subtle energy there. Energy going from the belly down through the legs. Just relax. Slowly now take a deep breath in and a deep exhale. Start to wiggle fingers and toes. Walk your feet in. And decide which side you'd like to roll over on. Pause there for one breath. And with your hands, push yourself up to sitting. Come into an easy cross-legged position using a block if you need to. Feel softness in your heart. Take a moment and end your practice. The moment of gratitude. Think of something in your life that you could be grateful for. I'm grateful that you joined me. Namaste.